out tonight? Alright, so as long as everyone be quiet, so that everyone can hear me, this fan on. If not, if you can't hear me, then we'll turn the fan off, turn it off. So I want to welcome you guys to another Mindset Monday. I was thinking about it, as all the candidates we're going to share tonight, as we're preparing the message on what we're going to give you. And I sort of think about it as like keys that we're going to be giving out every Monday night. And if you miss a Monday night, not that you can't make up for it, but if you miss a Monday night, you might miss the exact key that you need that will unlock the door to your destiny. I know when I always refer back to it, I know when I did a release candidate, I was working out, but I wasn't really into it. I was all about mindset, but it was up on week 7 is when something changed in my mind. I know what it was. I don't want to go deep into it, but it was at that time. It was like a key. I opened up the door, and all this confidence that I had lacked, it came out. And now I see myself up here as leading and helping people, and that's what my heart desire is, to help people. Not that you have to be like me, but I want you guys to have confidence. I want you guys to bang it like, you don't care what anyone else thinks. That's how I feel. Like, I don't care what anyone else thinks. I'm walking in my destiny. So that's what I want from you guys. So every time that you guys can be here to get the keys that we're going to hand out to you guys, highly recommend it. All right? So before we get started, I want to start off by asking a question. How many of you guys completed your challenge or challenges that was given out by me and Ashley last week? All right, hands down. Let me ask the next question. How many did it that same day, the same night that we had given the challenge? All right, how many did it the next day? All right, how many did it yesterday? How many did it today? So the reason why I'm asking these questions is because you probably wonder why I'm wearing this. What is your weight vest? It's because the reason why I'm asking it is because a lot of times we hold on to stuff, right? And we allow it to drag us around. We don't allow those things that we're holding on to. We can't walk in the destiny that we were created for. The things, whatever it is, a failure, a habit, whatever it is, those things are holding us back from our greatness. And potential's in each and every one of us. Right? We all have potential. But it's up to us to find our purpose. Right? You can't find your true purpose until you let the things, your failures, your mistakes, whatever it is, you won't be able to walk into your greatness until you allow those things to be released in your life. And sometimes that's why it's important to do it right then and there. I mean, don't wait, don't be embarrassed, because people are going to be thinking about, like, well, what are they going to think about me on Facebook or whatever, right? It's more important that you release those things, right? So now I can walk freely, now I can do things, now I can lead, now I can be encouraged, right? See me walking around more freely? Well, that's what's intended for each and every one of us. To walk freely, to live freely, to give to one another, right? Not to hold back, but to love. Right? So I just said that because sometimes you don't need to wait. When something's given to you, I don't want to say order, but when a challenge is given to you, you need to do it right then and there, because you don't know how long you're going to live. It's better to do it right then and there and then enjoy the rest of the week, right? I'm the type of person, I'm sort of like an A-type, where if something's given to me, I try to do it right then and there, so I can just get it out of the way, so I can move on. But you don't know what blessings are stored up for you. You're going to keep on pulling on sort of things, right? You guys see that? Alright. So before I put everyone up here, I had Joe cue up a couple songs. So I think he'll play the first song. And I'm going to play these songs, it's just a chorus. And what I want to know is, this is the question. What song would you say best describes how you felt when you were given the challenges by me and Ashley? Alright, so we're going to play 3 songs. So the first song is?
Playing on them.
Maybe some guys don't even know.
Keep going.
next song. How did you feel when you were given those challenges? And the reason why I picked Blame It on the Rain is because he's blaming it on something external that happened to him, right? When something happens to us or a failure happens in our life, are we continually blaming people? Well, this happened because that person, this happened because of that, right? Or are we the type of person that we take responsibility and say, you know what, I don't care about everyone else. I'm going to make it right. I'm going to do what I need to do. Are you the type of person that blames it on everyone? Okay, here's the next song. Ooh, this is my song. Look out, TT. Get my cardio hit. Cardio. You guys know what song this is? So it's fire, right? And what she talks about is the things that happen to her. Well, this is what I get from it. The things that are happening to her, she's not going to allow it to hold it back. She's going to make her stronger, right? And that's the action I try to take. If someone cuts me off, I get mad sometimes, but sometimes I'm thinking, well, maybe that there's an accident down the road or something that's going to happen that I don't even know of. Maybe I just need to slow down. You need to think like that, right? So is that how you guys thought? When you guys were given the challenge, were you guys going to fight through it? Or were you guys going to crumble under the challenge that Ashley gave? I know some of you guys, I'm not going to call them in, but some of you guys were asking, like, it's okay to get clarification, but to say that you don't have no challenges or you don't have no faults or you can't think of any or whatever it is, all of us have faults, and we just need to take some time out and examine our lives, right? We need to put aside our busy schedule. I know we got kids crying, we got work calling, but there's going to come a time in our life, early in the morning or late at night, where we just get alone with ourselves, be true to ourselves, and it will be revealed to us what our issue is. All right, so the second song is Bible. Here's the third song. You see if you guys know this one.
Yes.
You guys know what song this is? You guys know what it's talking about? This is what I get, right? This is the opening line. It's talking about, to me, it's talking about possibly hating yourself, right? It's talking about that it's too late to apologize for all the things that happen in his life. And sometimes the failures that happen in our life, the mistakes that we make, we think that we can't be forgiven, or we think that we can't fulfill the destiny that's been given to us because we've done so much. But it's never too late, right? It's never too late to tell the person that you're sorry. Like I told last week about the girl that I had tracked down 6 years later, and I told her, you know, I'm sorry for the mistake that I did, right? So that guilt will always be with you. It'll always weigh you down. Whatever mistake or whatever it was that you made, or failure moment that you had, I just want you guys to know it's never too late to get back up. We all fall, right? But when we all fall, we need to get back up. There's nothing wrong with falling, but there's something wrong with staying down. That's when we're here to draw strength from one another. The 13 release candidates, the first round, I drew so much strength from them, I drew bond from them, and now I see them as family. And that's what it's here for. And that's what I want for all of us, is to be as family, right? To lean on one another. When we're going through something, when we're having a struggle, it's not about me making fun of you because you're having a struggle. No, it's about me strengthening you, right? Because you're strong, something I'm not strong, right? So, out of those 3 songs, when you guys were given the challenge, how did you guys feel? Did you guys think, you know what, I don't care, I'm going to fight through it, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this challenge, and I don't care what anyone says? Or did you think to yourself that, hey, you know what, the mistakes, the failures that I've done, it's too late, you know, whoever I ask for forgiveness, they're not going to accept it? Well, it's not up to you to make them forgive you or to receive forgiveness. It's just up to you to go to that person, right? After you go to that person, that burden is no longer with you, and it will no longer weigh you guys down. Right. I don't know why I got to tell that. Anyways.
I received that.
All right. So for those years that I held on to that failure, it restricted me, right? And a lot of things happened in my life where I think I was talking to one of my cousins, and I was describing her the things that I was going through, and she said, maybe you're going through like a slight depression. Sometimes we do like that when we start closing people off. And this is the program that helped open up my shell. I was always the person, and I always say this, I was always the person that when they asked for volunteers, I would always close my eyes and act like I was praying, and let's get things good, right? But now I'm the type of person that would open up my eyes because I want to help. I want to volunteer. I want someone else to come out of their shell. That's what I want to do all of you guys. So now I'm going to bring up the first attitude axiom. And tonight we're going to be talking about attitude. And are you number one, Ashley? Okay, so before she comes up here, one of the things that I talk to my group about is personal development. I mean, I'm like hardcore on personal development. I mean, the first phase, I was all about losing weight. The second phase, I was all about building muscle. But this third phase, I'm all about like personal development because you don't know how much it can change your life. And so to bring the first key is a sweet action. You guys give her a look.
Hi everyone. So tonight we're going to be talking about some different things about attitude, and for what I'm going to be talking about is attitude determines your approach to life. Ever heard that term before? It really is true. How many of you have ever woke up in the morning and something bad happened, which I'm super guilty of, and I immediately say, this is going to ruin my day, I'm going to have the worst day ever? Any of you guys ever did that? Yeah. So what tends to happen when you have that thought process? How does the rest of your day go? It goes pretty bad, right? Because what you're thinking about, you may not know it, but then you tend to act out your day in that mindset. So you're literally attracting the negativity towards you because you're living in that negativity when your mind is there that you're just going to have a horrible day. But when you wake up in the morning, something bad happens, and you're able to have the thought process that just happened, but the rest of my day is going to be awesome. I'm going to get through it. I'm not going to let it determine the rest of my day. I guarantee you that 9 times out of 10, the rest of your day is going to go great. So you have to really be conscious of your thoughts and realize how much your attitude affects what happens to you in life. So I want you guys to all imagine an iceberg out in the middle of the ocean. So if you can imagine what an iceberg looks like, you see the iceberg, right? The part that you see. But I don't know if you guys know this, but the part of the iceberg that you see above sea level is only 10% of the iceberg. 90% of an iceberg is below sea level. It's what you don't see. And that's very similar to us as humans. So 10% of our life is made up of what happens to us. It's our outside physical part, what people can see, the trials we go through, the good things we go through. That only makes up 10%. 90% of life is decided how you respond to those things. It's your internal feelings, it's your thought process, it's what people can't see. It's that iceberg beneath sea level. 90% is how you respond to the 10%. So just to get, for you to get a better understanding, there was a grandfather and his 2 grandchildren went to go visit him at their house. And the grandfather fell asleep, so they decided to play a practical joke on the grandfather. So what they did is they placed a piece of cheese under his nose. And when he woke up, he's sniffing, and he's like, gosh, it really stinks in this room. So he goes from room to room in the house, and no matter what room he goes in, he's like, gosh, the smell is awful. It really, really stinks. So then he goes outside and to get fresh air, and he realizes it still stinks. The whole world stinks, is what he says. And all it was because of the practical joke that his grandchildren played on it. But he generalized that as the whole world stinks. How many of you guys have had something happen to you and you just let it generalize everything? So do you guys realize that you have a choice to how you approach life? Does everyone realize that? So he had that piece of cheese there, and he decided that the world just stinks. That's all I can smell everywhere I go. But little did he know, if he knew that was there, I'm sure those words would have came out of his mouth. So that's why it's so important for you to realize that you determine your whole thought process, and how much attitude is going to shape your life. I want to read something to you, just so you guys can get a little better understanding. It's called I Have a Choice About Today. And I want you guys to really just listen to these words and take it in. So it says, I woke up early today, excited over all I get to do before the clock strikes midnight. I have responsibilities to fulfill today, and I am important. My job is to choose what kind of day I'm going to have. Today I can complain because the weather is rainy, or I could be thankful that the grass is getting watered for free. Today I feel sad that I don't have money, or I could be glad that my finances encourage me to plan my purchases wisely and guide me away from waste. Today I can grumble about my health, or I can rejoice that I'm alive. Today I can lament over all that my parents didn't give me when I was growing up, or I can feel grateful that they allowed me to even be born. Today I can cry because roses have thorns, or I can celebrate that thorns have roses. That's deep. Today I can mourn my lack of friends, or I can excitedly embark upon a quest to discover new relationships. Today I can whine because I have to go to work, or I can shout with joy because I have a job to go to. Today I can complain that I have to go to school, or I can have an open mind and fill it with rich new tidbits of knowledge. Today I can murmur and complain because I have to do housework, or I can appreciate that I even have a place to call home. Today stretches ahead of me waiting to be shaped, and here I am, the sculptor who gets to do the shaping. What today will be like is completely up to me. I get to choose what kind of day I have. So I really hope that you guys let that sink in. Life is so wonderful if you choose to let it be wonderful. You have to stop focusing on what you don't have and find the joy in every little thing. So what if your kids are acting up? You're blessed to have children. Some people can't have children and they want them more than anything in the world. So what that you hate your job? Some people are living on the streets and they don't have a job to go to. You don't have the car that you've always wanted. But you have a car, you have a place to get from point A to point B. And if you don't have a car, God blessed you with legs to be able to walk. God blessed you with some change to take the bus. There's ways you can look at every situation in a positive way so that you can live life the happiest that you can possibly live it. And I just want you guys to just let that soak in, and when you're having a horrible day, stop, take a breath, close your eyes. If you have to get a pen and paper, find the positive in every situation. And I know sometimes that's extremely difficult to do when you're having a sucky day, but you're determining that you're having a sucky day. Find the positive in every negative situation, and it will affect your total approach to life. Thank you, guys.
All right. So who's up next? Will? All right, give Will a good hand real quick. Can I brag on Will real quick? Okay. I don't brag on him. I like to brag on Will and my Lord. These are my two mentees in phase 2, and I'm just so proud of them. Even when we were given like a little break, they still went hard at it. So Will is just it's not good.
What's up, everybody? How you guys doing? All right. So my axiom is number 2. It's our attitude determines our relationships with people. So if you think about life, everything you do is determined on how you handle people and how you deal with people, right? You go to work, you're not working by yourself most of the time, right? You're working with other people, right? You have a boss, they have a boss, you have employees, you have associates, you have coworkers, right? So if you go to work and there's somebody that you don't like, usually there's friction, causes a whole bunch of problems at work, right? So if you have a bad attitude towards somebody at work, then your whole day, your whole experience, your whole time at work is ruined, right? Then you come home, and then you bring that home, and it's ruined, right? Because of your bad attitude at work, dealing with somebody, right? All right, so what do you think is more important? Your product knowledge or your relationship or your people knowledge? What do you think the ratio would be? 50-50, 75-25, what? 90-10? So what they say is that the ratio is about 12.5 product knowledge to 87.5 people knowledge for success. Anybody who sells a product or anything like that, if you're in sales, that's what your success rate is based on. 87.5% people. Not how much you know. You can be a genius, you can be an expert, you can know everything. But if you come off to people like you know it all, and you don't care about them, and you don't care about why they want this product, or why they need it, or what they're going to use it for, or anything like that, you just shut it down their throat with all kind of facts and everything, you're not going to make that sale, you're not going to help them, they're not going to receive what you're trying to give them. Okay? So, relationships is like the most difficult thing for us to have. Like, how many of you have trouble opening up to people, meeting new people? Raise your hand. If that's like the scariest thing for you to do. Like, could you go talk to strangers on the street and talk to them and just say, how are you doing today? I have this product, I want to sell it, or invite them to come out to Fit Club. If you don't know them, that's very hard, right? No? Okay, for a few people it's not hard, okay? But for most of us it's hard. For me it's hard, right? So, you would think that you just need to have that product knowledge and you'd be okay, but I feel like I know a lot about nutrition and health and all that stuff, but I'm afraid to go up to people because I'm not comfortable with how I am talking to people. So you really need to flip that and concentrate on understanding people. So, okay. This is what they say. Our attitude places others first. If we place, Alright. So, our attitudes. I wrote this down, but I tried to do a shorthand. For the first time in my life, I tried to do shorthand and it didn't work out. Alright. So basically, we have to put people first in order to see things through other people's eyes to show that you care. Because if you don't care about what other people are going through or what they have to offer, they can see right through that and see that you're just using them to get to whatever you want. So you have to show that love and care for the people, for them to show that back to you and to buy into what you're bringing. So that's a big gist of it right there. Another thing is, this is like a proven thing that the most successful people in our nation have used, like Teddy Roosevelt. In order for you to be successful, you have to put people first.
That's church. Oh, they can hear church singing right now. They're praising you.
I had a short one, so that's pretty much it.
What Will was going to say, because I read his notes, you guys need to write this down. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. You can shove all the knowledge you want down their throat, but they ain't going to receive it until they know that you really care about it. So you guys got that? People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So tonight what we're talking about is attitude axioms. An axiom, this is what the definition is, and it's spelled A-X-I-O-M. It's a principle that is accepted as true without proof. Right? So everyone that's coming up here, they're coming up here to share a principle with you. That's true. It doesn't need proof. Right? So I get to share the next one. So my axiom is, write this down. Often our attitude is the only difference between success and failure. Often our attitude is the only difference between success and failure. And when I was researching this, I was like, I can't think of nothing, I couldn't find nothing, and then Matt says, I got the perfect one for you. I'm like, what? And then she gave me a situation that I went through just recently in my life. So let me repeat it before I go to my story. It says, often our attitude is the only difference between success and failure. So as most of you guys know, I recently started a new job about a month and a half ago. I left my job that I had been working at for the last 9.5 years. I loved it. I got to do whatever I want. Not to brag, but I had the company car, I had the company truck, go whenever I want. I had it all, right? But it's just, over time, dealing with certain employees just was wearing on me. It's like, man. And there was a couple of things why it started getting to me. But I think the main thing was I was wanting to get retirement. So I was a little frustrated because there wasn't a good retirement where I was at. So I had all the goods right now, but in the long run, I wasn't going to receive anything, right? So this guy that I know that was working at El Dorado County, he had come up to me. He's like, hey, I just want to let you know that there's a position opening, and I want to recommend you for it. And I hadn't put in an application nowhere or whatever. You know, I knew the guy, but I wasn't looking, right? I was just going to stay where I was at. Even though I was a little miserable sometimes, I was just going to stay where I was at. And so I talked to him. Me and him, we went on a truck ride last week, and I asked him, why did you tell me about the job? Because there was other people that were looking for the job. And there was other people that worked with me that he was going to recommend them to. But the thing was that he noticed their attitude that they had. It seemed like they were always mad. Whenever he would approach them, they would just, that person that he would approach would just give him a cold shoulder or whatever. But he told me that whenever he approached me, I was always in a good mood. I was always talking positive. You know what I mean? And after me working there a month, my new job now, he had said, I'm just real glad that he brought you on. I'm like, well, why? He's like, well, because the other guy that he had thought about, he always had a bad attitude. Right? He says, but I'm glad that we picked you because of your attitude. But part of it was because of my attitude, because of my positive attitude. So to me, the person, what should we call it, person A, right? Person A could have had the job, but because they had a bad attitude, they missed out on their blessing, right? Sometimes we can miss out on our blessing if we have a bad attitude. And we think no one's watching us, but there's always people watching us, whether it's our kids, right? They're watching us, whether we have a good or a bad attitude, or employers, right? And the way I do it is I try to work the same if someone's watching me as if no one's watching me. Because to me, if I do that both times, they'll leave me alone more times than not, and I'll still get the job done. So basically, the difference, the success that I had in my life in the last month is because I had a positive attitude with the household, and that is what catapulted me into a job now where I have more pay. I don't have a company truck. I don't have a company car, but now I have the retirement that I've been dreaming about. So the success that I got is partly because of the attitude, the positive attitude. So that's the difference. You guys see that? So this is what I want you guys to declare. From this day forward, I will have a positive attitude in every situation. No matter what. All right, who's going next? Adrian.
Hey, I'm here. Nice. So my axiom is number 4. So our attitude at the beginning of a task will affect its outcome more than anything else. So again, if you're writing it down, our attitude at the beginning of a task will affect its outcome more than anything else. Our attitude at the beginning of a task will affect its outcome more than anything else. So just a couple quotes that stood out to me in regards to that is how you start.
is how you will finish. Pretty much exactly the same. How you begin anything is how you finish it. So start strong, finish strong. How you come into this program is how you're going to come out of this program. Give it your all, you're going to come out with amazing results. It's how much you put in, it's how much you sow, how you reap what you sow. Also, another one is many times we have been guilty of viewing our future challenges as the sunset of life rather than the sunrise of a bright new opportunity. So we're choosing to look at the sunset as a negative instead of the opportunity that's approaching. It's a brand new day, it's a brand new beginning. Tomorrow is a brand new start. Not that this is the end of this day, but tomorrow is a brand new start. And a little story that goes along with it, is, for example, there's two salesmen. They're shoe salesmen. They're both sent to foreign countries. The one sent and no one's wearing shoes. One guy calls his boss, he's like, forget this crap, send me home, no one wears shoes, I'm not needed here. The other guy calls the boss, oh my gosh, everyone here is barefoot, every single person needs shoes, send me 1 million pairs of shoes. We need to put shoes on everybody's feet. So it's just your perspective and how you choose to look at the situation. So now for my personal experience, just recently, actually today, is I was invited to go to San Diego for my friend's 30th birthday. No funds whatsoever to do this. But my personal daily affirmations are, I have abundance of wealth, checks are in the mail, and I am a money magnet. So I say to myself every single day. Today I happened to stop by my house because I forgot to take out my chicken tonight after this event, and a very unexpected check was in the mail that's going to cover the whole entire trip. I could have gone into this like, oh my gosh, how am I going to pay for this? I can't afford this. How am I going to hustle? I'm going to have to figure it out. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go. I'm going to have to sacrifice my friend's 30th birthday. And this chick sacrifices everything for everyone else. She shows up from San Diego here for everything under the sun. The littlest event she will sacrifice for. And I'm sitting here thinking, how am I going to tell her I can't do this? Because I can't afford it. But instead of doing that, I just remembered, no, my daily affirmation is, I have an abundance of wealth, there's checks in the mail, and I'm a money magnet, and sure enough, it works. So just remember, everything you have to approach it with a positive attitude, because again, how you start it is how you're going to finish it. If you go into it thinking you're going to win, you're going to win. Just like the other saying is, if you say you can't do it, you can. If you say you can't, you can. So whatever you tell yourself, you're right. So tell yourself you can do it. Tell yourself you're going to beat the crap out of the show, and you're going to rock the crap out of that stage, and you're going to support every single one of these people in this room because this is your family, and they are going to grow you, and they're going to rise you up. So be that same support for each other, and just have that mentality as you approach everything in life, and you will win. This life is yours. Win it.
That's what I do every day. I do positive confessions, right? Because daily we're telling ourselves, oh, I'm sick, can't make it, kids are bad, or whatever, right? You hear on the news, oh, if you take this drug or whatever, I'm going to use one, this is the only one that popped in my mind. Let's just say Viagra, right? Someone takes Viagra, and then there's all these other 10 different side effects, right? Or you listen to the news, they're telling you, oh yeah, the flu season's coming up or whatever, right? Well, when I hear those negative things, my positive confession is it doesn't matter because no sickness or no disease is going to come near me or my house, right? We're protected wherever we go. Those are the types of confessions that we need to make daily, right? So positive confessions is what I always do. You guys need to start doing. And the other thing is she says, how you start something is how you're going to finish it. So from this day forward, I want you guys to make it in your mind, for those of you who are doing this, I'm not saying you are, that you will no longer have ASSIM. You will no longer, I don't want to say the word, but you will no longer have steps, right? So have that. Yeah.
It's okay.
So from this day forward, you will no longer do that, right? You have to be serious about what you guys do. Right? Who's up next? Jesse!
What's up, everybody?
Everybody getting nuggets? Right now?
Yeah.
This is very, very important just because, like, you never know when you're going to need it, so write it down. You never know, you might be looking for it somewhere down the line. So I'm very honored to be here in front of you guys. I got something hope that you can also use as well. Mine is Axiom 5. Our attitude can turn our problems into blessings. And so for many of us here, we all decided to take on this journey, which is what this can turn our problems into blessings. Okay, and so we all decided and all came about this to do the same thing, right? Choosing to become a release candidate, right? So for many of us who are at different points in our life, for whatever reason, something can compel you to basically take on this challenge. And so I just want to encourage you and help you get some kind of, if anything, some kind of strength to endure any struggles, any problems, any situations that you might come across. Because they're going to be out there, they're going to happen. It's just inevitable in becoming a better version of yourself. So with that said, I have one question for you. What is the difference between an obstacle and an opportunity? You don't have to answer it, just think about it for a second. So the answer is basically this. We're all talking about attitude, right? It's your attitude towards it, okay? Every opportunity has difficulty, and every difficulty has opportunity. So it's basically how you perceive what it is that you're searching for, what it is you're seeking for. That's going to basically give you the outcome that you desire, or basically allow the difficulty to cheat you out of something that you really deserve. So one of the things that I just wanted to do is, I'm an artist by trade. I just love to draw stuff. And so if I can just paint a real quick picture, I'm sold out to this program. It has helped me become a better version of myself. And one of the things is that I started to look for something that kind of mimicked exactly what it is that we're trying to create here in Sacramento. And so as I began to look and search throughout the internet, Google, thank God for Google, I found something that was so amazing, so interesting, and I likened the release candidate basically to a lighthouse, okay? And say, why a lighthouse? A lighthouse is a perfect illustration for what it is that we're doing here at Sacramento Big Level. So as I began and decided to jump into this thing called the release candidate, I was not in a place myself that I was actually ready to do this program. I was actually in the midst of a storm. But it was so amazing because in the midst of the storm, I decided, you know what, I'm going to challenge myself. Basically, like Joe says, F it, what can I lose? You know, just try it out, see what happens. And in the midst of my own personal storm, I started to realize that as I began to take steps forward into becoming a better version of myself, I started to notice that certain things started falling off of me, certain things that I was carrying along with me, like Henry said, I began to shed them off of me, began to feel a little bit more free, became a little bit more almost liberated. And so one of the interesting things about a lighthouse is that it's circular in circumference. And the reason for that is because when the storms do come, and they will come, when it crashes against a cylindrical object, the water basically goes around it, and it does not knock it down. So in the middle of your storm, sometimes you'll have waves that will come, and they'll be massive, they'll be mighty, and they can get to a point where it feels like you see it from a distance, you're like, man, I don't know if I'm going to make it through this one. But when you start to get yourself in a good place, around good people, in a good program that builds up people, all of a sudden, when that wave hits you, the water doesn't go through you, doesn't knock you down, but it goes around you. And as I began to kind of just look at stuff and say, man, start looking at pictures, lighthouse after lighthouse, I started to notice another thing, that in the midst of the storm, when it's dark, in the darkest times of maybe one's life, when they're not ready to basically do certain things, in the midst of the storm, when they start to realize how strong they really are, they basically are set out a light at night. And what is that light for? Does anybody know? It's to allow people to know that there's land just ahead, right? And so the amazing thing about this program and why I'm so sold out to this program is because in the midst of my storm, I was able to be able to be a beacon in the midst of somebody else's storm. So as you begin to take this journey, as you begin to shed some things off of you, as you begin to become a stronger and more powerful person, you too have this amazing opportunity to become a blessing in somebody else's storm as you begin to shed a beacon wherever they may be, and let them know that land is just ahead. I have a way for you. You just got to keep coming. It's going to be all right. And as I begin to realize that, man, this is like a lighthouse. This is a beacon. This is a beacon of hope. It's a beacon of change. It's a beacon to get people to get to a place that they become who they used to be, to a better version of themselves. But not just for them, so that they too can also become a beacon in the midst of somebody else's storm. And so your attitude will basically allow you to have a blessing in the midst of a problem. But it's up to you, depending on how you want it to end, how your story is going to be, how you're going to impact somebody that is in dire need of that light in the midst of the storm. Okay? So I hope this helps somebody tonight. You guys, I'm so excited. You guys are so amazing. Just third class. You guys are going to rock it. The numbers are overwhelming, and we love it. So keep on rocking it. Keep on doing your thing, and be the inspiration in the lighthouse of someone's storm. Okay? Thank you.
All right, next up, we have a guy that changed my life in week 7 of the Ridge Canada Phase 1. It'd be Health Coach Jerome.
All right, everybody. I got attitude axiom number 6. Mine is, our attitude can give us an uncommonly positive perspective. I'll repeat that. Our attitude can give us an uncommonly positive perspective. So basically, no matter what, even when the odds are stacked against you, you can always maintain a positive attitude. And I do have a quote here. I'm not going to say who he is. Maybe some of you guys might recognize it. In 1995, I had $7 in my pocket and knew 2 things. I'm broke as hell, and one day I won't be. You can achieve anything.
The Rock.
Joe, of course, Joe again. It was The Rock. I'll repeat that. In 1995, I had $7 in my pocket and knew 2 things. I'm broke as hell, and one day I won't be. The Rock said that. And now he's a multi-millionaire. He's an action star, one of the best WWE wrestlers. So he had that positive attitude. He was broke as hell, as he said, but I didn't get him down. The odds were against him. He was super broke. And where is he now? He's one of the biggest actors in Hollywood. When Goliath came against the Hebrews, the soldiers were like, he's so big, we're not going to take him down. But David was like, he's so big that I can't miss. So you have to tackle your problems with a positive perspective. All right? You might be exhausted, but tell yourself, I got so much time in the day, I can do a 30-second lip sync video. I got so many days in the week, I can do 3 or 4 hit sessions. All right? You might feel like the odds are stacked against you, but when you flip your mindset around and think positively, even when everyone else around you may not be, you'll start switching things around, not just in your mental life, but your physical life. And I do have another. So, Sylvester Stallone, when he wrote Rocky, he had one rule or whatever. When he wrote Rocky, his exception to that film was he wanted to play the lead role. He was 30 years old. He had $106 in his bank account. He turned down $300,000 because he wanted to be in the lead role. He turned down that much money. And at that time, I think in the 70s, that was millions of dollars at the time. And they went back and forth, and finally they said, all right, we'll take you in. Rocky was filmed on a $1.1 million budget, and it grossed over $100 million. So he turned that money down, but no matter what, it's like, I'm going to be that role. I don't care. I don't care if it's $300,000. I don't care if it's $400,000. I don't care if it's $500,000. I'm going to play that role and I'm going to kill it. And it grossed over $100,000 in America alone. In the world, it was over $200,000. All right. So even when the odds are stacked against you, really be that positive force. Really think that you can take it no matter what. You know, everyone might be thinking negative, but you got to be that exception. Have that uncommonly positive attitude.
All right, this next person I get to bring up. She deals with my attitude all the time. She gives me an attitude adjustment all the time. I'm not always this good, but she makes me this good. So if we can give Amanda welcome.
So my axiom tonight is your attitude isn't automatically good because you're a religious person, or you think you're religious, or you got a relationship with Jesus, or because you think you're a good person, or you're a humanitarian, or whatever it is. We don't automatically, I mean, some people are more happier naturally than others, but the same life is given to all of us. So it's up to us to determine what kind of attitude we have. It's not just given to us. You know, like we've all came across people and they're just mean-spirited. They're just mean people. Like for no reason, you know, automatically they just don't like you. Like you have to give them a reason to like you. That's just mean-spirited people. Naturally don't like somebody. Instead of naturally liking you automatically, they'll automatically just don't like you. So you guys want me to repeat it? Is that what you're saying? Your attitude isn't automatically good because you're a religious person, or if you're not religious, but you just think because you think you're a good person, so you automatically should have a good attitude. And so what I'm going to talk about your attitude, it all boils down as to how your heart is. What kind of heart you have. The most important thing we can do in our whole life. I mean, yeah, we need to guard our mind and stuff, but our mind and our hearts, they can be on two different pages. Different things can happen. But when you guard your heart and you protect it from anger, bitterness, hurts, pains, all those kinds of things, when you can protect it from that, you're going to have a better attitude. You're going to be a happier person. You're going to be a more loving person because of that. So whether you believe in the Bible or not, it's still a good quote, or if you want to say, the scripture, Psalms 51 and 10, it talks about create a clean heart in me, O God, and renew a right spirit within me. And that's been like my prayer for like a whole year. So many things have happened to attack my heart. And I know from personal experience is that when you get anger or bitterness inside your heart, it's one of the hardest things to get out. Isn't it like really hard to forgive? Especially when you're justified in being mad and wrong, like being mad at the person for doing you wrong, like they was just straight up wrong and you have every right to be mad and angry. But in the end, it's only hurting you if you keep on hanging on to it. It's the hardest thing to do because it's in your heart. So when stuff's in your mind, you can make a decision. Like, I make decisions all the time. Like, I'm not going to be offended over that. So I block it here before it even gets to my heart. I make a decision, I'm not going to be offended. Because I'm offended for a second, obviously. And then I got to stop and think, I don't want to. Because being offended, if you break the word down, it's off and ended. So it's stopping, blocking, any kind of positivity, any kind of good things, any kind of blessings that's coming in your life. Because you're walking in offense. You're staying offended all the time. So you're offended at that one person, and now you walk around with a chip on your shoulder, offended and mad at everybody else, when that one person did you wrong, but everybody else might mean you good. But you block it and you stop it. Just like Benny and Ashley's challenge to you guys, maybe you didn't see it, I saw it last week, is that they were setting you up to get in position to be blessed, for positive things to happen in your life. They were trying to set you up. Because they were saying, what's been holding you back? Whatever, like Benny had all that stuff on him and he was trying to walk around and he walked slower. It was harder for him to do what he needed to do. When he took it off, it was easy to do what he had to do, right? Well, some of the challenges, so if you did it, you didn't, whatever, but like he was saying, if you just hurry up and do it and just get it off, then you have the rest of that week for good things to happen to you. You are only prolonging your own blessings by not hurrying up and hitting on what challenges are given to you, or maybe it's just personal things. Maybe you know you need to be doing some changes in your life, so you're kind of stopping and being in your own way, blocking your own blessings from happening. So just be aware that these challenges, like we're only telling you from experience, is that they change your life. They open up doors for you. They move obstacles out of your way so you're not tripping and falling. I think Benny was saying about, it's not about if you fall down, it's if you stay down. So if I was walking out to my car tonight and I tripped and fell and I just stayed there. And then you guys came tomorrow for FedEx or whatever happens on Tuesdays, and I'm still sitting in the parking lot because I didn't want to get out because I fell. Then I would look ridiculous, right? And then Wednesday, I'm still there, and I would look so ridiculous because I didn't get up. But that's how we look to a lot of people in our lives because, oh, one or two things happened to us bad, or maybe our whole childhood was bad, but you're still letting that hold you back. People can see that. They can see you, and they know exactly why you are the way you are, but you just can't see it. Because you decided to stay in the parking lot, look dumb, and let that one thing hold you down. Instead of taking control over that and living your life and keep going and not looking like a fool. So creating a clean heart and renewing a right spirit doesn't just happen. Creating a clean heart, which is like they were saying, like, letting go of things. You have to clean out your heart so there's room for the good. If it's filled with bad, there's not going to be room enough for good. So you got to get it out. You got to let it go. You got to make a decision. And that decision, you got to keep on saying it because when those feelings come back up, you have to remind yourself, oh, I let that go. I'm not going there. I'm not tripping about that. I'm not going to let that hold me back anymore. So you have to daily remind yourself whenever that situation comes up that you've decided to let that go. Because your feelings don't always line up with what your mind has decided to do. So creating a clean heart. When your heart is full of good and bad comes along, it's not hard to fight it off because you have so much good in there. Like they were saying earlier, if someone cuts you off and you're driving, if you have so much good in your heart, you're like, oh, maybe they was like for work. Maybe they had to get somewhere and I don't know, so I'm not going to be honking my horn, yelling at them. I mean, this is what I do all the time. Like, I always have to check myself on driving. But you have to, you won't be easily angered, mad, hurt, and stuff when you have good filled in your heart. So it goes both ways. If you're full of anger and bad in your heart, and your heart's ugly, then it's hard for you to see the good things in your life. And when it's filled with good, it's harder for you to allow all the bad. It's up to you to create what kind of heart you want. So no matter what's happened before you entered release candidate, this is where you start over. This is where your life can change. This is where you can create a clean heart. And renewing your mind is everything we've been saying about personal development, hanging out with different people, listening to different music, watching different stuff on TV, whatever you have to do to renew your mind. Because whatever we first learned in our life is what we want to automatically revert back to. That's our first reaction. And so what we have to do is learn how to respond instead of just react all the time. Because most of the time when we react to something, it's bad. When you can be like, oh my bad, I just reacted. Because you just blurted off at the mouth, about to cuss somebody out, or did something crazy like that. Not all reactions, but most reactions are bad. But when you respond, that means you took the time to be like, hold on, you see? Like, you're evaluating the situation, like, did this really just happen? Because your first mind was maybe to slap somebody. But then you go back and you're like, hold on, like, I don't need to go to jail in this store. I'm trying to move forward with my life, and I'm trying to change, and all of that. So then you respond. That's the differences between renewing your mind. It's not just reacting, but you're responding. You're taking time to think about it and what's going to be a good response. Your attitude is a reflection of your heart. If you have a bad attitude, mean-spirited, that's because that's what kind of heart you have. And if you don't like it, because I really don't believe that mean people are happy and they like being mean. I don't believe that. I think everybody wants to be happy. And you can't be happy if you're going around mean and grouchy all the time. So it's up to you to create and renew yourself. We must guard our hearts above all else, because, like I said, it's the most thing that can determine. It doesn't, if your heart, we all know that our feelings are more stronger and we're more fooled by our feelings than we are by our minds. Like sometimes we know what we should do, but we don't feel like doing it. So most of the time we get into what we feel instead of what we know. So that's why we have to guard our hearts, because if we're giving in to our feelings all the time and our heart's bad, we're going to be giving in to bad things. And I'm almost done, because I know you guys been here for a good bit. Lastly is your attitude and your potential goes hand in hand. So Benny didn't tell the whole story, I'm going to tell you little details real quick. Is him and the other person both could do the job just as good. They both knew the job, that wasn't the issue. The only determining factor between him and the other person was attitude. That was it. So imagine how many things that and this person has no idea they were even considered for the job, because I know this person. They have no idea they were considered for it. They think like they probably would be fall on the ground shocked if they knew that they would be considered for this job. But how many things are you not being considered for because of your attitude? Like you're messing it up for your own stuff. I'm not saying you are, but just in case you are. I got two last things. It's changing your attitude. It's not an event, a one-time thing. It's a process. It's a lifelong process. Every day, like I said, renewing your mind. It's a decision all the time. So in one day, you got to make a whole bunch of decisions, because people can do all kinds of stuff in one day, and all kinds of things can happen in one day. And my whole life's motto is I just want to be happy. So if me and Benny are mad at each other, or the kids are getting on my nerves, or traffic was crazy, or whatever it is, I'm still going to be happy. I mean, I still have stuff to do when I get home. I still got to be here. I still got to work out. This whole time, I'm trying to be happy. Why am I going to be mad and grouchy and slamming things and doing all kinds of stuff when I could just be happy? I still got things to do, and even if it's cleaning the house, I'm going to be happy. I'll always put on music, whatever I need to do to be happy and do what needs to be done. Daily, normal tasks. So it's up to us to make that decision all the time, day after day. How we're going to be happy about it or mad about it. It's up to you. Because life happens to all of us the same exact way. I don't have a better life, or you don't have a better life than anybody else. We make our own life. It's our decision what kind of attitude we're going to take at it. Lastly is take charge of your own life. Transform from the inside out. Because you can fake it and put a front all you want, and people just see right through it anyways. Or when things happen in your life, that's when people see what you're really made of. How do you take things that happen that go on in life? Bad things happen to good people, and good things happen to bad people. It's just, that's how life is. It's up to you how you take it. What's the point of going through this whole program, changing your body, looking better, feeling better, if you're ugly on the inside? To me, that's the worst thing ever, is to see someone who's so beautiful or so cute, and they're the ugliest, rudest person. And they're after you talk to me, I don't even want to know you. I don't care what you look like. So, bottom line is don't just, I know most of you guys aren't even in this for the looks, or to lose weight, get healthy, and that is a benefit. But most of you that I talk to, you want to change your mindset, and you want to be better and a happier person. And that doesn't mean that your life's going to go perfect and nothing's ever going to happen. That means your life still going to keep on going, or whatever, but what changes your life is up here, and how you respond and your attitude and all of that. So good attitudes are not just given, or just because we've all been to church and stuff, and most of us, a whole bunch of us probably go to church in here. We know not everybody has a good attitude at church. You'd be like, what? Shocked. So it's not just,
many things that you guys weren't even looking for. One of the things that I learned, and I think your husband's or someone flies planes, right? So one of the things that I learned about attitude is, does anyone know what an attitude indicator is? Yeah? So don't correct me, but this is the little that I do know. So in an airplane or aircraft, we say aircraft, right? There's just one important instrument that's on the dash, right? That's called the dash, right? And it's called an attitude indicator. And what it does is it tells you, based upon, I think, the horizon, right? It tells you whether you're going up, right, down, or how you're placed, right? And a lot of times, our attitude will indicate whether we're going up in life or whether we're going down. That was a free nugget. Yes. All right, Adrian, come on up.
So after to save a little bit of your time, we're going to have you separated groups. So we're going to do it as a giant group tonight as an exercise. So I'm going to give you an example of what we're going to do. I'm going to say something that's been like a struggle that I've heard a lot of people complaining about, or issues that they're not so excited about, and then I want hands to go up in the air because I need you to participate in this with a positive way to turn it around. So like for example, I do not want to eat chicken another day for the rest of my life. Chicken. What's that? Okay, can we go?
Change the way you cook it or season it.
Good suggestion. See? He said when I'm in my 60s, I'll eat whatever I want. There, Tara, right?
Sorry, fish.
There you go. Come on, Walkie.
It's like a fried chicken.
Joe?
This chicken gave its life for me to get results.
And so we have another issue that they've been faced with that like plagues you every day. It's like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this, or I don't want to go to this place. Another problem they want to do. Benny?
I don't have enough time to take it through.
How are we going to turn that around? He says he doesn't have enough time in the day to do everything.
Prioritize what he needs to do today. And what can wait till tomorrow.
Repeat it.
She said prioritize what you got to do today. Make it for today.
Just repeat everything.
Plan for tomorrow. Oh, down. Get to do this. I get to do this. 6.
I'm getting so busy with good stuff that I ain't got no time for BS.
I'm so busy with good stuff, I ain't got no time for BS. Any other ways to turn that one around? Nope. Any other negatives that they've been faced with, or things that complaints they've heard? Laura? Earlier I heard a lot of people complain about how it smells in here. And a lot of people complain about how it smells in here. Suki?
Smells like greatness.
Smells like greatness. Monkey?
Smells like results.
Smells like results. Shot.
At least you have a building to work out in.
Amen. At least we have a building to work out in. Chris? At least I can smell. That's right. People don't have noses.
We have fans.
We have fans. Amen. Who was here when we didn't have fans? How appreciative are you for those fans? Alex, it's like
Like Joe says, fuck it.
I say F it.
actually, we have like something that kind of issue with you on
I'm not getting enough sleep.
her issue is I'm not getting enough sleep.
Sleep when you're dead.
Like a sleep without bed. Oh, at least I have a bed to sleep in. Chris? Gives you more time for activities. I saw some more here. There.
Sleep now.
Sleep now. That's a great Herbalife product. Or relax now. 6.
I worked so hard, I forgot to sleep.
I worked so hard I forgot to sleep. Look.
People don't sleep.
Successful people don't sleep. Don't. You got to sleep. And at least when I get to go to sleep, I will sleep good. Now I'm just going to call them. People can tell me raising their hands. Okay, now what's an issue that you had like this?
I can't eat anymore.
I can't eat anymore.
Thankful to have food.
Thankful to have food.
At least I'm not starving.
At least I'm not starving. Anyone else? Any other suggestions? Action.
Well, Mondays is open because I got to do.
Right. If I want these results, I gotta do what I gotta do.
Good one, Lorraine.
Nico.
There will come a time when you will want more food.
There will come a time when you want more food. It's hard to believe right now, but trust me, that day will come when you want more food.
I heard that.
I have a solution, or you have another issue?
I was going to say something else. Now, my guy that know you used to always preach, he used to say that because he used to wake us up at like 3 o'clock in the morning and he'll have all these talks, so he'll have to work on something. He's like, well, y'all sleep and somebody needs to go work. So he's like, you always got to work, you always got to make sure you're everything. I thought that was
Well, you all are sleeping. Somebody else in the world is working.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing the results I want. So this is an issue, not a issue. I'm not seeing the results I want. Finish.
Trust the process.
Trust the process. That will be drilled in your head. Trust the process. Trust the process. Yolanda. I'm working at it. I'm working at it. Jason.
You may not see it, but other people will have it.
You may not see it, but other people do. Laura, stay focused. Stay focused. Any other ways to turn that over now? I know we got lots of Alex.
You got this.
You got this.
You might be just focused on seeing one type of results, but if other things change, you need to like the same time.
You may be focused on one type of results while other things in your body may be changing to make it other types of results.
Stop stepping on the scale.
Stop stepping on the scale! Again, stop stepping on the scale! Nite.
That's what I do.
I've never heard Nite quiet before. What just happened?
Work harder.
Work harder!
Celebrate every victory, no matter how big or small.
Celebrate every victory, no matter how big or small. It's just a number. Amber.
Somebody else might want before it has to be. I like that one.
Well, somebody else might want what you already have. Another way else you put that is your body may be somebody else's dream body. So don't knock what you got. It may not be your level 10, but you've still got a body that other people are aspiring to have. So be proud of what you've done. Nite.
The one I was going to say was muscle weight more than fat.
Muscle weighs more than fat. So again, it's just a number. Don't focus on that number. Ashley, are you pointing at
Oh, some of your results are internal. You get stronger inside your cardio and all this stuff. So you're getting stronger, even though you can't see it right away.
Right.
Your example.
Did you hear that? Some of your results are internal. So you're getting stronger. You may not see it, but you are building muscle and you are getting stronger from the inside.
Stronger than yesterday.
Stronger than yesterday. Negative. Results are earned, not given. You got negative? Yeah.
This person might make you get on my nerves.
That did not come out of my mouth, but what you said.
Repeat it.
This person in my mentee group is getting on my nerves.
Thank God you should be a leader and inspire others to think so bad.
Woo! What?
Thank God you can be a leader and inspire others to think so bad.
There you go. Thank God you get to be a leader and inspire others. And there, yes.
I'm going to make that person my best friend.
Oh, wow, make that person my best friend. Chris?
At least you get to see that person.
At least you get to see that person. Jesse?
That's why they're in the program.
That's why they're in program.
I'm going to change my attitude about how I feel about it.
She gonna change it.
That person really needs my love.
That person really needs my love. Any other ways to turn that all around? That person needs a hug.
Reach out to them.
Okay.
They may hold the key to success.
Okay. That they may hold the key to your success. Did you have something? One more.
Be thankful you have a mentee group to lean on.
And be thankful you have a mentee group to lean on. Okay, that's it.
Maybe it's not them. Maybe it's
Maybe it's not them. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's not them. Maybe it's you. One more negative. Turn around. One more issue. Come.
All this stuff is too damn hard.
All this stuff is too damn hard. How should we turn that around?
At least it's a challenge so the end of the result will be worth it.
At least it's a challenge, so at the end it'll all be worth it.
If it was easy, everybody would do it.
If it was easy, everyone would do it.
Do it till it's easy.
Do it till it's easy.
Ooh, mine doesn't matter.
Mind over matter.
It's not every day you get a support system.
It's not every day you get a support system like this. Yeah, I saw him.
At least you're not bored.
At least you're not bored. You know? Perspective, Alex.
Don't stop believing.
Don't stop believing. Sorry, that was terrible. I apologize for your ears.
What are you, 2 years old?
What are you, 2 years old? With every challenge comes a victory. Ooh, with every challenge comes a victory.
My mind and body will be beautiful in the end.
My mind and body will be beautiful in the end. Chris?
It's hard, go harder.
Ooh, if it's hard, go harder. Ashley?
There's a rainbow at the end of every storm.
There's a rainbow at the end of every storm. Last one, Tony.
Say what?
Some people can't move or in wheelchairs, so be thankful that you have the ability to move and do what it is that you're doing as a best that I heard. Hey! Good job, guys. Every time you think something that you just don't want to do, you're just like dreading it. Remember, you get to do whatever it is you're doing. You have the ability to do whatever it is you're doing. And just look around the room. Look at your neighbors. All these people here, I'm sure you've got 50 chats going. They're all your support system. So you can reach out for help or support or somebody to lean on. I'm sure that everyone in this room will be more than eager to talk you through it or give you those suggestions of how to turn it around into a positive. How about for yourself?
All right, guys, we learned something today. Anything? There were 7 axioms, so you guys had to take away one at least, right? That you guys can utilize, think about. There's some of them that just embed in your head and into your heart. So if you guys wrote it down, really take it to that. I'm gonna try writing down on a post when I post a video. With that being said, you guys all have mentors, right? You guys each have 2 mentors in each of your guys' group. The mentors are there to help you guys out, right? They're not there to scold you, reprimand you, or anything like that. They're there to guide you through it. Mentors are there to help you, right? Because what? They've been through something that you haven't been through, right? They took a step here, they took a step there, they went through roadblocks. All of them were crybabies. First class, crybabies. Second class, crybabies. Right? Right? But they went through it, right? They all took a roadblock. First class, we had 27 people. 14 of them didn't make it. The roadblock was too much. So if you have one of the first classers, they went through it, right? They made it through the struggle. They made it through all the crazy stuff that comes out in my head and Elsie's head and everybody else's, right? So really trust them in the process. They're going to guide you through it. Second class, none of them quit. I think we had half of them cry, half of them complain, or more than half of them kept complaining, but they kept going, right? They went through their bumps and bruises. So utilize their footsteps. Let them guide you through the path. They're not here to scold you. That's my job. It's my job to give you strikes. We got 3, right? Because people were being too much of a baby the first couple of weeks. So the strike, right? We put a strike out there. Put you in your head. Now you're going to be on point, hopefully. Right? Because we want people who are committed. We're not trying to really kick anybody out, but if you have to, or we have to push you, we will. And that's going to be my job, not the mentors. It's going to be my job to do that. Right? My goal is, and Elsie's goal is to get you guys to stage ready. Right? Whatever that may be for that amount of time. You might not be like size 0 or whatever else abs popping, but we're going to get you to be where you guys, better than where you guys were today. Right? In 11 weeks. But most of all, right here. Alright? You guys are going to freak out once you guys hit those lights, hit that stage in front of 900 people. at the Crest Theater. And we're going to be, you guys hopefully have enough mindset, enough confidence to get you guys to walk and take a step. Right? So that's what this program is about. I'm seeing massive amounts of results, not just physically, but mentally with every single one of you guys. The way every single one of you guys ask me questions is way different than what it was a month ago. Right? A month ago, there was a lot more complaining. Now it's like, help me solve this problem. Right? You guys are asking questions. Right? You guys aren't coming with the stank face like, oh man, this sucks anymore. Well, 10 of you guys are, but we will change that in 4 weeks. But you guys are starting to take steps to becoming better people, and I can see it. There's almost like a glow in each and every one of you guys. Right? It's starting to glow. It's going to keep growing and growing before you step on stage. And hopefully when you leave the stage, everybody else sees it. So with these challenges is to get you guys uncomfortable, is to get you guys going. They're posting it in your mentor chats. You guys committed to reading those things, responding to them, and doing these challenges. Right? You guys see a challenge, you guys are like, oh my gosh, challenge, I'm so scared, I'm overwhelmed. Oh my gosh. That's the feeling we want you guys to have, because it's a block. And we want you guys to punch that wall down, that roadblock. You guys understand that? That's what every single challenge is about. We had people up here on Saturday, had to do their letter to themselves videos and couldn't even say a word, and it took them a minute or two. Right? But they did it. Every single person did it. Even Spring's son, Peter, who was like, oh my gosh, you know, he's like freaking out over here, but he did it. And that's a step that he probably never would have taken before. Right? Very, very powerful. And a lot of you guys, I can see it's like a level up after doing that video. Right? So all these challenges are for a purpose. I think what your mentors have a challenge right now. What's tonight? Was it tonight? Midnight, right? So I encourage you guys to do it. Whatever it is, write it out. How long does it take? Right? You've been thinking about it for 2, 3, 4 days or whatever it's been. Just do it. And do it. Right? Put it in your head, say, F it, I'm going to do it. F it, I'm going to do it. F it, I'm going to do it. Right? You guys are on Wednesday as a group, you guys are going to step on, I don't know what the mentors posted or whatever, but if you guys have a challenge today, do it. If not, then don't do it. Well, if you don't have it, you don't know about it. So I don't know what each chat is going through, or what's their deadlines and whatever else. We're giving them somewhat control of that, right? But Wednesday, what's the challenge for Wednesday? Song, lip syncing, right? Right? You guys have songs, right? Some of you guys might not like the songs, but oh well, who cares if you don't like the song? Right? Who cares? If it's a challenge and the group wants to do I'm a Barbie girl, I'm going to do it. I don't care because the group wants to do it. It's not about me. It's not about me. Right? This challenge also is about you guys coming out of your comfort zone. Coming out of your comfort zone. It's going to be ridiculous. It's going to be crazy. You're going to feel this insane energy when you step on here and do it in front of everybody. But it's all also about you guys helping each other out, getting this person out of their comfort zone, this person out of their comfort zone. And you guys as one team coming up here in front of this camera, in front of everybody, and just showing off and showing how much you've grown. All right? We're only, what, a week and a half into this program, or 2 weeks, or whatever it is. And half you guys are scared out of your minds to do this lip syncing contest. You're going to be up here with 5, 6 people, 7 people. You'll be fine. You're not going to die. So practice it, whatever song it is. Dance moves. Dance moves look ridiculous. I cannot dance, but when me and Elsie come up here, we're going to show you guys what's up. Right? We will show you guys what's up. So really practice, focus on it, and just say F it and step into your greatness. You guys committed to going into your greatness, and you guys are going to do it. Stop lollygagging. Alright, we have 11 weeks left. Stop lollygagging. Got it, guys? Alright, so with that said, if you need to meet with your mentor group and talk about the song or whatever else you need to do, challenges, songs, or whatever else, you guys do it. Everybody say, I'm committed.
I'm committed.
I'm committed.
I'm committed.
I'm committed.
I'm committed.
All right, clap up, guys. Hands up. Let's go. Get out of here.